Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. We are so pleased to have you today on this Sunday, 27th of June. I think some of you are looking at some of the answers to how, what is the 11 plus and how does it play a role in your child's uh, schooling going forward. There are a lot of myths about 11 plus, and we'll try and explain today as to what could be a roadmap and how can magical methods actually play a role in shaping up for taking up this exam. I'm sure everyone knows that there is an exam held by different bodies for 11 plus. And with that understanding, I will just use a short presentation to give you an understanding of what 11 plus is all about and how can we work together uh, with your child. So what is 11 plus? 11 plus is actually the age group in which a child is being examined on the cognitive abilities, and this is held for students in England and Northern Ireland. And this is a step next to the primary education, which governs an admission to a grammar school. And some of you who do not know what a grammar school is, it is basically a different group of school which actually enables you to shape up your children in the direction for STEM subjects, taking on the STEM subjects. And now what is STEM subject? Is it's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So the children are prepared. There's nothing like a English grammar, but the schools have been erstwhile called as grammar schools. And these are the schools where they take, the intake is between 11 and 12 years, and that is why it is called 11 plus. So the children who complete their key stage 2 are eligible to take up a competitive exam and qualify for 11 plus. So their first admission when they join their secondary school in the year 7, then that will start in September in a grammar school. And I'm sure some of you are already looking forward to it and preparing as well. And also some of you must be taking some tuitions. So that's about 11 plus. So what are the subjects that they test? So they basically check your cognitive ability. And this cognitive ability is a function of testing children for verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, maths, and English. And this can be a combination which can be different for different group of schools, different boards of the schools, and the layout of the papers and the exam is different for different grammar schools or the congregation of grammar schools in different areas. So there is not one single exam or one single way in which these exams are conducted. And there is nothing good or bad about a grammar school. They are just testing the child's verbal, non-verbal reasoning, maths, and English skills. Some schools, they do not do maths, they do only verbal and non-verbal reasoning. Some schools may do only verbal and non-verbal and English. It depends upon which area you are in and which is the catchment that you're applying to join into the grammar school and which exams that you can take. So the other thing to understand is you can apply for more than one grammar school or you can take tests of different grammar school boards. So let me just also explain you about the boards. So there are two main exam boards, CEM Durham University and GL Assessment. Which exam board will be usually used is depending on the location of your chosen grammar school. So in your catchment, whatever the grammar schools that you wish to appear for, and there is a specific criteria about the grammar schools as well. Some grammar schools also give you the ability to take the test only if you are in the catchment. When I say in the catchment, some grammar schools say it should be 6 miles from your house, and some say that it should be, within 10 miles of your house. Depends on different criteria that different schools are putting up. The idea is to get as many children into the grammar school and help them qualify for the 11 plus that they can educate your child on. And having said this, there are a lot of parents who look at shifting houses, shifting their properties to the catchment areas, which helps them qualify for a grammar school. The other thing that you may not know is there is a cutoff mark which is put up by every 11 plus and every 11 plus board, and your child needs to qualify that minimum criteria. But the minimum criteria does not ensure that your child will get a place. Usually it is oversubscribed. So you will have to be competitive, and the higher scores children get into grammar schools or get an admission into grammar school earlier. Another thing to note is that there are some children who are kept in waiting list. And once the children who are shifting from one grammar school to the other or opting for a different grammar school, which may be closer to their location or preference, then the places become vacant and they can actually take up. So the waiting list is kept until the first term of the school as well. So you should always keep an eye if your child happens to get into the waiting list. And you should make sure that you are watching the waiting list and you are in constant touch with the school, given that you have the qualifying passing marks laid down by that particular board or that particular academy of the schools. Now, there are a lot of parents who ask this question: is it compulsory for my child to go to a grammar school? Certainly not. It is certainly not compulsory for you to go to a grammar school. But yes, it is desirable. And you can always make your headway to a grammar school to get a better understanding of how the competition will be there at different levels in the in when you qualify for GCSEs and other board exams and get admissions to the universities or wanting to study STEM subjects, as I explained to you. So how to prepare for uh, an 11 plus? Now, amongst the various methods that there are being taught, there is one thing which this institution, Magical Methods, has come across, and they are doing skill building. And what they are doing through skill building is not only making your child more efficient on, on the verbal, non-verbal reasoning, mathematics, but actually an overall skill to have the computation power in the head with the child 10 to 15 times faster minimum. They help in removing finger counting. They help children work through tables up to 99 without memorizing. Otherwise, children usually memorize tables up to 9 or 10 or maximum 15, but they teach methods through the area that they specialize in is called Vedic mathematics, comes in very, very handy in most of the exams. And the child's overall skill actually improves. This is nothing to do with mathematics, but it is to do with skill building of the child. And let's see how magical methods helps you prepare. We've invited the founder of magical methods today, Pradeep Kumar. He's uh, he's one of our pioneers in uh, this science, and he has been working for the last 30 years uh, on teaching through magical methods, the methods that are actually used in uh, your mathematics, your verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, and building up your skills towards that. In passing or qualifying for 11 plus exam and giving you success. He has tutored number of children and they have got benefited. For your knowledge, Pradeep Kumar himself has about 50 patents to his name and 220 copyrights. He has written number of books which are translated in 18 languages across the world. And he is tutoring literally about thousands of children across different countries in different fields, and to pass different kinds of competitive exams or qualify for different kinds of exams. And this is the first milestone of a child that he helps build. Once the child qualifies for this, he is able to qualify for other skills as well, because his overall skill uh, in not only in 11 plus, but the exams going forward actually improves. So it's taking up an example like, putting up uh, a fertile ground, making it just like a farmer does, making the ground fertile, sowing the seeds, nurturing to get the seedlings to plants and plants to trees, and trees remain with you forever. And that's the magic of magical methods. So I will invite Mr. Pradeep Kumar to give us the roadmap to success for 11 plus. Over to you, Pradeep sir. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you, Shirish. Let me take control of what we are going to do now. I'm going to take you through this roadmap for success in 11 plus. Okay. So yes, parents, if your child is in year 2 or year 3 and targeting 11 plus, then this information is for you. Uh, Mr. Sirish has already explained you about this 11 plus, what is 11 plus, what is the examination, what comes into the examination. I will focus on roadmap for the success. And more so, I will focus on math and non-verbal reasoning part. So before moving to the roadmap for success, I will answer some questions which parents ask. So when to make up your mind? See what happens, we are talking about the skill development part. And in the skill development part, you require time. It's not teaching, it requires time. So you should start early. So we say that ideal age to start, preparing, that you should start preparing your child for 11 plus is year 2. That is 7 years of age. Okay, that is the time when you should start building up the skills of the child, not exactly preparing the child for 11 plus, but building the skill of the child for 11 plus. Okay, what are the desired skill? This is the second question, where it comes that what are the desired skill of the child? So a student should be good with mental calculation, multiplication tables, and long division, concentration, memory, logical reasoning, critical thinking and problem solving. These are the skills which your child will require to fathom the 11 plus, to pass the 11 plus, to score good marks into 11 plus. Okay. Now the question is how to develop these skills. As I told you that to develop these skills it requires time. Skill development is always time intensive. You cannot develop skills in 7 days. You cannot do it in even in 15 days. It requires longer exposure, long haul. Okay. So we say that is improving these skills is not like 2 minute noodle. You can't do it very fast. That takes time. If you are in for a long haul, then you will be successful. Otherwise, you will find that you are not successful. You will find that failure is there. So you have to be little more clear in your mind that you are going to be there for a long period of time. That's why I'm suggesting year 2. Okay, the whole thing is boils down to year 6, but the preparation will start in year 2. Like you see, in Olympics, the winners, they start preparation at a very early age. Okay, the Michael Phelps, he started at 7 years of age. All Olympic champions, they started at a very early age. The tennis champions, they started very early age. Boris Becker, he started at a very early age. So if you want the child should be successful, because you get only one attempt for 11 plus. So you want child to be successful, then you have to start very early on developing the skill. Problem solving and all, concept building, that happens quickly. But the skill building, it takes time. Okay. So let's talk about, roadmap. What should be the roadmap? When you should start? How you should start? I'll be focusing on non-verbal reasoning and mathematical part. Basic mathematical and non-verbal reasoning part. So let's get into it. So let's talk about stage number 1. The student should be master of simple calculation. Okay, I'm giving you one more thing is, how do you know that the child has become master of that? Okay, how do you know? This process should start very early. Normally when the student is in year 2, the objective of this stage is the student should be able to do 1 digit plus 1 digit and 2 digit plus 1 digit in less than 7 seconds. I've given you the parameter by which you can find out if your child is through with this stage number 1. Okay, the time should be less than 7 seconds. Okay, at this stage only, the work on his imagination, logic, concentration, memory, reasoning, ability, and problem solving should start. The objective of that, the student should be able to understand the logic, should be able to understand the logic. He may not be able to use it, but he should start understanding the logic. What is this, logic all about? Okay. So let's get into stage number 2. I have divided it in 6 stages. Okay, stage number 2. The student should be good with tables up to 9. I'm finding that a lot of British kids, that they are good with the tables up to 12. And but not in year 2. When the kid get into year 3, year 4, year 5, they are good with tables up to 12. Now, the child should be good with table up to 9. We are saying tables up to 9, multiplication tables up to 9. This process should start when the student is in year 2. The objective of this stage is that a student should be able to do tables up to 9 in less than 3 seconds. Again, I have given you the measuring tool by which you will be able to measure whether your child is up to the mark of stage 2 or not. Okay. The work on his imagination, logic, concentration, memory, and all these should start. He should be able to use simple logic. So how you can do this? This can be, this can be done via games. Okay, basically the work on imagination, logic, concentration, all these things, kids love to play games. So you use games to work on these. Okay. Now let's come to stage number 3. The student should be good with addition and subtraction of two digits. 2 digit minus 2 digit. For example, 31 minus 18. Okay. 37 minus 19. 73 minus 36. So this is, the child should be good into this. 38 plus 29. Addition and subtraction of two digit plays very big role in 11 plus kind of competitive exam. Lot of addition, subtraction, data interpretation and all those things comes into this 11 plus examination, and where you have to tick mark. Right. The process should start when the child is in year 3. When the child is in year 3. And how much time should child take? You can see over here the student should able to do 2 digit plus 2 digit number and 2 digit minus 2 digit number in 5 seconds or less. How much time? 5 seconds. This is the time in which the child should be able to do it. All right. So, and this work, the now the child should be able to understand and use complex logic. Child should be able to understand and use complex logic. Okay. Now we are coming to stage number 4. Students should be good with mental multiplication of bigger numbers. This process should start when the student goes in year 4 or is in year 4. The objective of this stage is that students should be able to do tables up to 99. Please note that the kids are not provided the calculator. In 11 plus, kids are not provided the calculator, and they are supposed to do all these calculations with their own, on their own, without using calculator, on their own, using their mind. Okay. So you have, the kids are required to work up to tables up to 99. If they are able to do, that's wonderful. Okay. So now at this stage, the introduction to deductive logic should take place. Deductive logic is what? The child should start trying himself or herself. Child should start trying himself or herself that how to solve the problem. Child should start asking how to solve the problem. Okay. Now we are coming to stage number 5. Stage number 5, the student should be good with division and fraction. Student should be good with division and fraction. The process should start when the student is about to go to year 5 or is in year 5. The objective of this stage is that a student should be able to do divisions and fractions mentally. The work on his imagination, logic, memory, reasoning ability should continue. Objective of this is the child should be able to do inductive logic. Child should be able to do inductive logic. That is what is required. Child should be able to do inductive logic. And after this, you come to stage number 6. After this, you come to stage number 6, where the kids have to solve as many questions as he can come. So what is the stage at which this comes? No, go to year 6 or is in year 6. Okay, solve as many problems as the child can do, as much problem as the child can solve. That is the objective of this. So solve. I have given you the snapshot here, roadmap snapshot. You can see it here.
Children and parents, this is one thing which Magical Methods does is MQ test. And this is not a very difficult test, though, uh, people who are clever, children who are clever can quickly crack it. And this is an online test, which is a 30-minute test. And, Pradeep sir directly, administers this test. And it doesn't go as a test. He keeps playing games with you, and you don't get to know how you're being tested. And the MQ test actually defines what level of entry that you get into, or it is an assessment of how much is magical methods going to work with you. And then also deciding on batches, how would you join a particular batch? When can you join a particular batch? And the batches are for 3 children at max in a batch. It's not a crowded place. So there's a very focused attention. And the children who have similar scores, similar air groups, similar age group, actually are part of the same batch which gets started. And since this is a skill building exercise, this does not, is not like a moving train that you can jump onto. It starts with a batch. And in that batch, since the children are with similar year group, age group, and MQ score, they start learning at the same pace, and there is a parity in learning. And once you get the parity of learning, you don't get into those scenarios. Why is, uh, you know, Ritika much faster than me, or why is Jack much slower than me? Kind of feeling, because everyone is at the similar pace. And you can certainly, take up the MQ test at your convenience. You can actually book it online. And this is just about £10 that gets adjusted when you buy the bulk of the 11 plus course. So I would certainly recommend most of the parents who are here with their children to appear for this MQ test and book their MQ test immediately, so that they get to know what is the level of their child. And the child also gets to know where he stands and how much he has to work, and or vice versa, how much magical methods has to help him get to the point to qualify and build up those skills which are suitable for taking up the 11 plus exam. Thank you very much for attending, and look forward to your association with magical methods. Pradeep sir, thanks for taking your time out of your busy schedule to make for this webinar.